This is a Sigma 100-400 contemporary lens. This is Gateshead, and across the water is Newcastle. So what the hell am I doing in an inner city with a large telephoto lens? Today, we're going to find out. So city centres and urban environments have traditionally been the preserve of wide angles and perhaps standard lenses. And particularly for newcomers, there's this sort of mentality when you're new to photography to try and encompass everything that you can into a single shot. But there are some distinct advantages to using a telephoto lens. And today we're going to explore the streets of Newcastle and Gateshead, walk across the high-level bridge and put into action shooting with this big beast of a lens. Now if I put this lens hood on and extend the lens out, you can see this is hardly a discrete lens. And yet it has so much potential for the urban environment. Now today we can dispense with the lens hood because it's pretty overcast and we're not going to need it. So that's going to go back in the camera bag. Because it's overcast, because it's a big lens, because we're in some dark places, we're going to be using shutter priority, and we're going to be using at 1/250th of a second. We're going to have image stabilization on mode 1 on the lens, and we're going to have in-body image stabilization set up on the camera. We've got auto ISO set up, so it will do anything from 100 to 12,800 ISO. That should cover us for all bases and allow us to maintain that 250th of a second shutter speed. A big lens is going to have a lot of camera shake if you've got your shutter speeds too low, hence the shutter priority. So let's get into it. Let's have a little walk around Gateshead across the high level bridge and see what sort of shots that we can get on this little journey today. One of the great things about a telephoto lens in a city centre is the lens compression, that ability to reduce the distance between the subject and the background. And it works so well in city centres. By changing from 100mm to 400mm, the actual image changes completely. Now, as I said, this is not a discrete lens. It's not the sort of thing that you can go around and do candid street photography with. But it is a fantastic lens for picking out details within a city centre. Cities are full of layers. You've got old with new, old with old, new with new, multiple different layers. And it's very difficult to pick those off with a wide angle or a standard lens. With a telephoto, you can pick off those architectural details, those juxtapositions between the old and the new. You can pick off the different styles of buildings, the details on buildings. You can pick out the geometry, the light, the reflections in glass. So many little details within a city that you can pull in with a decent telephoto lens. Now that's not to say it's easy carrying one of these around. This is a relatively light telephoto lens for its size. It's heavy when you're carrying it around. I've got it on a decent Peak Design strap here, and just picking it up with the Sony, it's going to be a heavy sort of thing. On a hot sunny day, walking around the city with a lens like this is actually going to be really hard work. Today it's fairly cool, it's very early in the morning and it's really quite pleasant to shoot with this lens, but if you were out with a long time and you've got a heavy backpack on as well, you're going to start feeling it. But that said, the advantages of shooting with a 100-400 or any other long telephoto lens in the city far outweigh the weight problems that you might have with it. Another great use of a decent telephoto in city centres, and I haven't captured much today, and I'll show you some other images that I've taken in other cities around the world, is transport. Buses, trams, trains, the like. You can get that compressed background and get some really good looking transport shots isolating the actual vehicle from its background. Really, really useful tool, not just for stills photography, but also for video. There's a lot of video that is online, used in YouTube videos and stuff like that, that's shot predominantly with wide angle and standard lenses, purely because people either shoot handheld or they shoot from a gimbal. Using a nice long telephoto in a city centre on a locked off tripod, allowing transport and stuff to come into the frame, gives you a really, really nice look to your image, a really different look to your image. Some of my best selling transport shots have been taken with a nice long telephoto isolating the actual vehicle as it comes through the shot. Now, one of the good things about shooting in shutter priority with auto ISO is that I can ramp up the shutter speed if I need to freeze a subject, like a train passing across the bridge here, or I can slow that shutter speed down as slow as I want to get it, to get some motion into a particular train crossing the bridge. Not having to worry about ISO in modern photography is a real bonus. Whilst this is not discreet for street photography, it is a really useful tool for candid long distance photography of people. I am not a street photographer. I really struggle photographing people in the street. But with a long lens like this, you can pick off people from a long distance, isolate them against the background, make them look interesting, make the environment look interesting without ever encroaching on their life. So we've already captured hopefully a good variety of shots this morning that demonstrate the power of using a 100 to 400 telephoto in a city centre. You would have seen some of those on screen during the actual video, and you will see some of these at the end, and I will put them all on my website as well, and I'll leave a link for that. Let me know what you think about using a telephoto or super telephoto lens in city centres. Does it work for you, or do you prefer the more wide angle style of photography? For now, I'm going to go off and do a little bit more photography. It's still quite early. I'm going to walk along the river towards the Millennium Bridge, a fabulous bridge that spans between Newcastle and Gateshead, and get some more shots because I've got some ideas to use the telephoto there. And once we've done that, I'm going to head off, grab a cup of coffee, go home and have a look at these images in DxO PhotoLab. So if you've enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would be fantastic, a subscription would be even better, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next one.